Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brian, and for those of you who are new here today, I am a full-time reseller on apps like Poshmark, Depop, Tradesy, and I also do a little bit on eBay and the RealReal. And last week, I was kind of having a bad day midweek, and I'm completely full on inventory for my stores right now. I have a bunch of stuff that I need to photograph and list, but as a lot of you guys can probably relate, sometimes you just need a little bit of shopping and sourcing to cheer you up. So I decided I was gonna go to the Goodwill bins outlet, which is about 15 minutes from my house, I'd say, and it's actually in Washington State, and it's north of Seattle in a town called Everett. So we have two bins in the Seattle area, one in South downtown Seattle, and then one north of Seattle, about 45 minutes, which is in Everett. That's the one I go to. It's close to my house. I live in Marysville, if you're familiar. And so yeah, even though I have a lot of stuff that I need to get listed. I thought, since the Goodwill outlet opened a few weeks ago, I haven't been there yet, and since I was having a bad day, I thought it would cheer me up, do a little retail inventory therapy. And you know, things were a little bit different than they've been there in the past. So usually you just show up, walk right in, grab a cart, and go to whatever bin you want. And so what was different about it was I got there, I think around 3:30, and normally they're open till 6, but I called and confirmed now they're only open till 5 currently. So, I just said currently twice, but yeah, they're only open till 5 right now. So I got there at 3:30 and I parked my car. It was kind of hard to find parking, which it usually is at this location. There's just not, it's like in an industrial area and there's just not a lot of places to park. But what I did was I parked and then I walked towards the door and I immediately noticed that there's a line of about 10 people waiting to get in. And so I stood in line behind all of them, and about half an hour passed before they let us in. There was about 40 people in line at one time. So they let us in like right at 4 o'clock, and they said normally you get exactly an hour to shop. But since we were the last group of the day, they kind of made us stop around 4:45. So we only had like 45 or 50 minutes to shop because they want to go home. They straight up said that if we don't cut you guys off early, we're not gonna get to go home on time. So I totally understand those employees. For my business, a retail store, I would stay open for customers, but I totally understand why they want to go home. I've worked in retail before too. So when I was standing in line, I started talking to a couple people. There was a man and a woman actually having a conversation behind me, and I kind of joined in. I was eavesdropping a little bit, but they were talking about reselling, and I met the woman I started talking to. Once we started talking, the other guy kind of bumped out of the conversation, but she was really cool, and I found out she's actually a Poshmark seller and a ThredUp seller, and I think she does some on Tradesy and Grailed and stuff like that too. But she was telling me how she does most of her business on ThredUp now, and that she's actually able to get more money for a lot of items, which is interesting because I've tried ThredUp one time and I got probably $20 for about 10 items. So I think she said there's a lot of strategy to it. So I think that you have to be mindful of what brands sell for a lot on there. I know you can adjust your prices. There's a huge strategy to it. So right now in my reselling journey, I don't think that's something I'm gonna focus on, but her name was Vandy and her YouTube is, I think, Vandy's Closet, and I think that's her Instagram name and Poshmark name too. So I'll link her channel down below. She was super sweet, and we were kind of, just chatting about reselling. I'm much more of a new reseller than her, but she kind of started telling me about some of the brands she sells on ThredUp, like Eileen Fisher. So then when we were actually inside the bins, I found an Eileen Fisher sweater and I gave it to her and asked her if she wanted it, and she said it'd be perfect for ThredUp because it's not really a brand that I sell. I love Eileen Fisher. It's good, amazing quality and a great brand, but it's just not really my target audience. So yeah, That being said, I will link her YouTube and Instagram down below. She was super cool, so I definitely was happy to make a reselling friend local to me. I don't really have any, so hopefully I'll see her again, and once this coronavirus all ends, maybe I could even have a cool new shopping buddy, because one thing we were talking about is how at the Goodwill outlet, even though a lot of people that go there are resellers, you don't have to be too crazy competitive, because everyone's looking for different items and everyone has different styles and target audiences, but also just there's so much product that I think it's not, you don't really have to worry about other people. Just stay in your lane, do the best you can do, find what you can find, and yeah. Okay, with that being said, once they let us in, I realized that there was some different rules. They told us to them right there at the door. So basically the new rule is that there's only one person per bin, and yeah, you have a very set time limit. So those two things are pretty big, when normally I would spend 2 to 3 hours at the bin, taking my time, going through every single bin, and then at the end going through my whole cart and looking for flaws, or just kind of maybe looking up comps, doing some brand research. This time, all I had time to do was look through about half the bins, and then I didn't have time at the end to go through my cart, which kind of sucked. I ended up getting the most I've ever gotten, which is 75 pounds. And that's due to the fact that I didn't have time to go through all this and do any of that. I probably would have gone down to 50 pounds had I would have had time to go through my cart. So this has been sitting in my garage since last week. With everything going on right now, I kind of just wanted to let it air out. Plus, I was out of town at our cabin this weekend for a friend's bachelorette party, so haven't had time to go through this. I haven't even looked at it, and so as I'm going through this, I might even be finding flaws as I go, or I'll likely be going through later with a fine-tooth comb looking for flaws, and I'm sure that I'll end up donating some of it back to the Goodwill. But with that being said, I'll show you really quick. This is my huge pile, 75 pounds of merchandise from the Goodwill. Everything is clothing that I got. I did find an iPhone cover that had a pug on it and had donuts all over it, and it said, "I do not give a pug about anything," I think is what it said. But I got that because I got a new phone. I haven't gotten a cover for it yet. And then of course that night my cover did end up coming in the mail. So that'll just be a backup phone case, but everything else, oh, and then I did get my dad a really nice a painting print that some French artist, and I was standing in line and saw it. It was only $2. So I spent $44 total, and $42 of that was clothing. And since I know that their pricing is tiered, like once you reach 50 pounds, the price per pound goes down. But I don't know if once you hit 75 pounds or 100 pounds, it goes down again. Because I got 75 pounds, it was only $42. That seems about 50 cents a pound. I didn't even know that their prices went down that low per pound. But I'm not complaining because I got a lot of stuff. I'll have a lot of new inventory, and maybe the girl just gave me a good deal, or maybe they're just trying to get rid of things so they have their prices lower than normal. But maybe that's just their normal price. I don't know. Wasn't paying attention to the prices. I know Goodwill is cheap, and that's part about not being able to go through the cart that I'm okay with, is that even if there are flaws on these things and I have to donate them back, overall, I'm going to be able to make that $42 back once I sell 1 or 2 items. So yeah, I'll get right into it. So they had everyone go in and basically go stand by a bin, and then they said don't touch anything until everyone's settled and we say go. So I go to one of the bins in the front, and it looked really full. That's a tip. Try to go to a full bin, because most likely it's been stocked with fresh product. And the first thing I see in this bin is a pair of Free People denim hanging out of the top of the pile, and I could just see the little tag that said Free People Denim. So there was no one else in my bin. So once they said go, I went straight for that. And then, yeah, just spent time in that bin. And then it's a little bit tricky because once you leave one bin, you have to find another open bin. So sometimes you kind of have to wait behind one person, which is okay. Like, there was people waiting behind me for my bin, and one guy even started like pointing to stuff that I was going through, and he was like, "Oh, are you gonna get that?" And he pointed to like an orange thing, and I was like, "Oh no, like, do you want it?" And he was like, "Yeah, if you don't mind, I'm waiting, but I thought I'd ask." And I was like, "Oh, okay, what is it?" And he said it was a North Face jacket. So definitely, like I said before, that's everyone sells different styles and brands. Even though North Face is a really good brand, still just not my style. I like to have more of a cohesive, curated closet. So I was happy to give that to him. And yeah, these are the pair of Free People. They're super high waist. They look like a skinny, might be an ankle crop. I don't think so. But yeah, just a good pair. They've got like these big square pockets, which honestly is not my favorite, but it gives them a little bit of something special. They kind of give me like a 70s vibe. I don't know why. I think it's the front, like the pockets. But anyway, and these actually are new with tags. It's in a little bit older Free People tag, and the original price on these was only $30. So if you didn't know, Free People can be super high price retail, but one of their things that doesn't retail for a lot is their denim. So it says $30, and there was actually a receipt in the pocket, and that's how much the person paid for these. I think it was back in 2018 at the downtown Seattle store. So one thing about when there's price tags on things is on Poshmark, you put the original price. So my thing about that is a lot of it is perceived. So what I'm going to do, personally, I don't see anything wrong with this. Some of you might. If you do, let me know what you think in the comments down below. But basically, I'm going to leave the tag on and either cut off right above where it says $29.95, or I'll just peel off the sticker part. There's like a sticker on there. So I'll just peel off the part of the sticker that says the price. And then for the original price, I'm going to bump it up to more like $50 or $60, because the odds are that the person who's shopping for these is not going to know the actual original price, and they're probably not going to go find these on Free People's website. Probably wouldn't be able to from 2 years ago to tell the original retail price. And my guess is that there probably are jeans at Free People that are $50. There's probably jeans that are $75, and there's probably jeans that are $30 or $25. So as long as you're not exaggerating too much, I think that it is good and okay to kind of tell a little white lie about the original retail cost. I've done that with some t-shirts that I got from Kohl's. They cost me like maybe $3, and they were originally $25, but then for the original price, I will put like $40 or $50, or I'll just put, a lot of times, especially if it's something that I've customized or it's vintage, for the original price, I just put 0, because I don't know, they say that it increases your chances to put a original selling price, but when it's something vintage or upcycled and modified, like dyed or cropped or whatnot, then it's kind of hard to put an original retail value on it, especially since I customize a lot of stuff. That adds more value to it, in my opinion. So yeah, even though these are $30, I'm probably gonna say the original price was maybe $55, and then mark them $30 or $35, and then I'd be happy to take offers, down to 25, and then if I'm holding on to them for a while, then I would go down to like 15 or 20 at the lowest, probably. And yeah, I actually have quite a bit of Free People that is selling really slow, or just not selling much at all. So I'm going to be more careful about picking up only recent styles, or maybe more like fancy, unique, embellished styles from them. And then maybe some of my older stuff, I might try ThredUp one more time for certain brands, because I heard that Vandy gal say that Free People is one of those brands, and she's always posting tips on her Instagram. So again, that'll be linked below. And, I might just have to give ThredUp another chance. So the next item was this red flannel from Patagonia. And it's a woman's size 2. and I can't tell exactly when this is from. I'm guessing mid-2000s. But Patagonia is an outdoor brand that has been around since probably, I'm guessing, the 80s, maybe even longer. But they have a pretty big cult following, amazing quality, and like their pullover fleeces are probably their most iconic piece. But people who love this brand really do love it. So I've been doing some bleach dyeing and like dip dyeing with flannel shirts, but I'll probably just leave this one plain since it's a brand that has a good following just by itself. And I'll probably list that one around, I'm gonna say 35 or 45 to start. I'll have to do a little research, but I like to start high, and then it kind of gives you room to accept offers. Or, oh, I gotta give my legs a little stretch for a sec. I'm sitting, usually I do my haul standing, but since this haul is so big, I have it all sitting on the floor, so I didn't want to bend down a million times. So I'm sitting crisscross applesauce, which is kind of getting a little hard on my feet because I'm sitting like on my feet, but I'll get through it. Okay, next is this skirt. It's by a brand called Who What Wear. I had never known what this was. I've heard of this before, so that's the reason I threw it in my cart. It's not really a style I would normally pick up. It's like a midi sort of pencil type skirt. Maybe has a tiny bit of flare, but not much. And looking back, this is one item I would have probably passed on, but it is in good condition. It is a size 8, which is a good size. And yeah, I believe Who What Wear, after looking, I did look that up because it was sticking in my head, like it's Who What Wear, like it kept repeating in my head. So I looked up what it was, and I think it's like a fashion news website. But I think that they have a little bit of their own line. They probably just do private labeling where they order wholesale clothing that's made, and they probably just sew their tag on it. But yeah, so I haven't looked, I don't think that's a brand that resells for a lot, so don't know what I'll do with that. Maybe try to bring it to like a consignment store. That's one thing that I'm going to try to start doing a little more. Try to find some consignment stores in the area to build relationships with. And yeah, there's not a ton in the area where I live. Where I live is kind of like more spread out, smaller towns or like industrial type areas. But there's not a lot of like small shopping businesses, if that makes sense. And just not really in the consignment stores. You have to go probably 30 or 40 minutes before you start finding any legit consignment stores. Some of there, I think there's one or two that are like, well, they'll buy your stuff for super cheap or whatever, but I would rather do consignment. So yeah, that's one thing I'm gonna start looking into. Let me know down below if you do consignment stores and how that works out for you. I'd love to know. Okay, next is this Asos. Show you the tag, size medium, and it's got like these studded detail all across on the back and on the collar, and then it's got rose patches embroidered on there. So it looks like they're actually embroidered right onto the jacket, or on, it's not a jacket, sorry, it's a chambray shirt. But it's got the embroidered roses all over, super cute. And if you don't know what Asos is, it is an online marketplace, I believe based in the UK. I do a lot of shopping there. They carry a lot of different brands like Adidas, Misguided, so many different brands, but then they also carry their own house brand, which is more like a fast fashion brand, but they have really cute stuff for men and women, so I would highly suggest checking it out. And I've sold quite a few of their pieces, some of my personal pieces, and they don't resell for a lot, but they have a pretty good reputation for being more of a fast fashion place. Their quality is pretty good, and their stuff's usually pretty on trend. Some of it's kind of out there, but I think it's cool. Cool place to shop. So yeah, definitely check them out. I'm guessing this is probably around $50 brand new, but their stuff goes on clearance really low. So yeah, I'll probably mark this one $25, and yeah, I think that would have a good chance of selling. I'll probably even mark it a little higher than that and see what happens. This next one was probably something I would have put back. It is a Dick's Burgers, which is like the most iconic burger place in Seattle, and yeah, it's a drive-in, and it's just super iconic Seattle landmark. So I thought that was kind of cool. I put it in my cart and I didn't really look at it. If I would have a little closer, I would have seen the staining on the bottom. But the good news is that I'll probably just make it into a crop top and then maybe like bleach dye it and then sell it on Depop and Poshmark for maybe like $15 or $20. Hopefully someone in the Seattle area will pick it up. But that's one thing I should mention. I talk about a lot, if you've seen it in my other videos, that I don't necessarily sell all the same things on Depop and Poshmark. Those are my two main platforms. But I sell pretty much anything on Poshmark, but then on Depop I only sell like things that are sort of fall under a certain aesthetic, more of like a boho or grunge and like vintage sort of stuff. It's kind of hard to explain, but my Depop's a little more curated, and then on Poshmark I'll sell some mall brands. They're not my favorite, obviously, but you know, more bread and butter items. And I think people are looking for more cheap things on Poshmark a lot, or just deals. And then a lot of times on Depop they're looking for more of a certain style, quality, or uniqueness. So yeah, that's a little bit about that. Next is a pair of American Eagle boyfriend jeans that are busted in the knee and distressed and super cute. I'll probably end up using these with a model for one of my photo shoots. I have a model who wears a size 6 or 8, and I make a lot of like tie-dye t-shirts or crop tops, so I'm always shooting those on models, and they usually will bring their own pants to shoot with, but it's always good to have more options. And then once I use them for a photo shoot, I will probably sell them for either $25 to start, maybe down to $15 on Poshmark, and then if not, I might even just offer to let the girl keep them if she likes them. They're super cute. American Eagle's not a brand that I pick up too much, unless it's like $1 or at the bins, and the jeans do have a good following, especially if they're high-waisted, so they're worth picking up for like a couple bucks to flip for, you know, 15 to 30. Next is a pair of AG men's jeans. They are the Dylan Slim Skinny, and these I picked up. I could resell them, but actually I used to have a few pairs myself that I gave to my boyfriend's boss, and he really liked them and thanked me for them. So these are his size, the size that I gave to him. I'm not that thin anymore, I used to be, but I'm probably gonna give those to him. So that's what's fun about the Goodwill outlet, is a lot of times you find things and you immediately think of a friend, and since it's so cheap, definitely is cool to, you know, just give away. Spread the love. So next is this Ralph Lauren Polo. It's a plaid shirt, and it's got a little green logo there, and the colors are like purple, green, yellow, and red. And I will probably crop this, and when I crop the like button-up shirts like that, I call them ex-boyfriend shirts, and I think that's just kind of fun. And I'll probably end up tie-dyeing this one too. I tie-dyed a red and green Polo Ralph Lauren shirt last week, or a couple weeks ago. I shot it last week on a model, and I'll throw a picture of it up here to give you an idea. And Polo Ralph Lauren is kind of a brand that's really saturated on the market. Like, it's just very common. You can find it at Macy's, you can find it at TJ Maxx, sometimes even Ross, and it's just super common brand. So it's hard to resell sometimes unless you find vintage pieces or like super unique pieces. Maybe something that has big spell out graphics would do well, but what I like to do is either crop them or tie-dye them, and that will definitely increase the uniqueness of these products. And since you find them so much, I sold a Polo Ralph Lauren vintage crew neck sweatshirt, I think for like $70. I'll throw a picture of that up here. It got featured on the Explore page on Depop. That's where I sold it, and I paid probably $2 or $3 from this from a thrift store like 4 or 5 years ago. I wore the shit out of it for like, oh sorry, I'm gonna bleep that part out, but I wore the crap out of it for like probably since I wore the crap out of it since I got it, and then I cropped it and I tie-dyed it, and then yeah, I flipped it. So even after all those uses I got out of it, it was a vintage sweatshirt. So, but if you put a little bit of time into being creative and customizing things, you can definitely get more money, more return, which is what we're all trying to do, right? Next is this super cute Ralph Lauren, which is a women's Ralph Lauren label. It's one of their like mid-tier labels. I'd say it's like similar to Polo Ralph Lauren as far as value and style. It's very preppy look. They make a lot of like plaid blazers, and this is just a little logo, nautical kind of thick stripe, zip up collar pullover. And I'm almost positive this is from the 90s. Yeah, it looks like it. So that's something I'm going to list on Depop. Might actually end up cropping that. Next is a pair of Madewell denim shorts. Madewell is sister brand to J. Crew, if you didn't know. And I'd say their style is just a little bit younger and more trendy, but very similar quality to J. Crew. Maybe a little bit, just a little bit different style. Probably just, yeah, younger, I would say. And I would say about a year ago, it was one of the hottest brands on Poshmark, but I think the word's kind of gotten out and people are starting to pick it up more. Therefore, it gets oversaturated. So it's another one of those brands, kind of like Free People, that's going down, but that I'll still pick up certain pieces, or if I find it for cheap. So definitely be careful with Madewell. I wouldn't pick up like a plain t-shirt, but things that are more special and like the more bohemian type blouses or sweaters do really well. Their high-waist denim can still do okay, but it just doesn't sell as fast as it used to. But again, I picked up these shorts. I'm gonna try to get them listed right away because we're right in the heat of summer right now, and we're about to have the hottest month, August. So definitely pick up things from Madewell if they're still in season. Just be careful and don't expect them to sell for a ton of money just because you've heard about the brand a lot. Next item is this Goodfellow & Co., which I'm 99% sure is just a Target brand. For men, this is a men's cable knit mustard sweater, and this is one that I'm going to keep for myself. It's a size XL, and this isn't something I probably would have gotten to resell unless I was going to bring it to like Plato's Closet or something, but that's not something I've been doing a lot. So I've always wanted a yellow cable knit sweater. I love cable knit sweaters, so can't have too many of those. Next is this Suzina. Is the brand Suzina? I don't know. It's from Nordstrom Rack, and the reason that I know that is because I got 2 Suzina shirts. Where's the other one? Oh, okay. So here is the other one. They're actually like basically the same silhouette. Like this kind of like gathered bottom, sleeveless, like V-neck tassel top. And this black one actually still has the Nordstrom Rack tag on it as well as the brand tag. So that's why I initially picked up this black one that has the new tags, because I saw it was new tags and it's from Nordstrom Rack. I'm sure it's not worth a lot, but if the black one is like a linen material, and then this other one is just like a jersey material and it's got this print. But I did notice already that one of the actual string tassels was cut off. No idea why someone would do that. Maybe it got dirty or caught in something, but so the colored one I'm probably gonna end up donating, and then the black one I'll just list on Poshmark for pretty good deal, probably like 20 bucks. So next is another pair of American Eagle high-waisted denim. And again, this is something that I would never pay more than $2 for, but they are high-waisted. I like the button fly, which means they have buttons, not a zipper. Super high waist, and they're kind of a fun stonewash finish, so that gives them a little bit more of a unique look. Again, these are a size, what size are these? Size 2. I do work with size 2 models, so this would be another pair of jeans that I'll probably use to shoot tops with on a model, and then either give them to the model or sell them for 15 or 20 bucks on Poshmark and Mercari. So Poshmark and Mercari are kind of where I list my lower end stuff, Depop, vintage, and stuff with a certain aesthetic and designer, and then Tradesy, more designer or high-end mall brand, because I'm just getting started on Tradesy. So don't know a lot about it, but I've been cross-posting I've been cross-posting a lot of my higher-end stuff onto Tradesy, and I've yet to get any sales, but I've only been on there for a few days, so we'll see. I'll let you know how that goes. Next is a brand called 89th and Madison. Super simple writing and size medium, and it's this white cable knit, like cowl neck sweater. Fall is just around the corner. People are gonna start shopping for fall pretty much like right now. It's the end of July, and in fashion, everything's usually about two months ahead. So you're gonna be wanting to start to think about fall merchandise pretty much like last month. So if you're not already ahead and thinking about fall, start thinking about it. Personally, for me, I don't source super seasonally. I mean, I do try to get more shorts in the spring and summer and more sweaters and stuff, jackets right before or during the fall and winter. But I'm not going to pass on something because it's out of season, because everything's always revolving so fast. Climate's different all over the country and all over the world, and people are living in those different parts of the country, or they're traveling on vacation to different parts of the world. So they're going to need clothes to fit those different climates. So I love white cable knit. There's white sweaters, cream sweaters. I just can't get enough. So you'll probably see a lot more white and cream sweaters coming on my haul videos in the next few months. This is a brand, 89th and Madison, I've said that's just sold at places like TJ Maxx and Nordstrom Rack. They have their own retail website, but it's nothing crazy expensive. But since it's in great condition and a style that I love, and the season timing is on point with fall coming right up, that was just an obvious yes for me. And it probably won't sell for a whole lot. Probably I'm gonna start it at $35 and be patient and hope that I can get that much, but I would go down to like 15. That's kind of my theory for almost anything from the bins, is put it as high as you can and then either drop the price a little bit as you go and try to take advantage of closet clear out, so you can get that discounted shipping that you don't have to pay for, or just taking offers or giving offers to likers over time once it doesn't sell, and go down to $15, go down to $10, because if you sell it for $10, you're still gonna make, I believe, $7 profit. So from the Goodwill bins, you paid maybe 50 cents to $1.50 for it. So if you've had it for 8 months, a year, is it really so bad to go down to $10? I'm starting to have the strategy more of not dropping prices, just doing offers, but just trying to leave my prices higher up. But if someone offers $10 or $15 on something that's been sitting from the bins for 8 months, I'm gonna accept it. So yeah, that's my 2 cents about that. And this next top is another brand that's kind of one of those Nordstrom Rack, TJ Maxx brands, nothing high end. It's called Paper Crane. I think they might have even carried their things at Anthropologie before. I'm not 100% sure, but it is this like thermal color blocked top, which is again super good for fall, kind of that fall transition. And I think this terracotta is a color that will be very popular this year. Can't go wrong with gray or beige. So I love the colors, and it's in super clean condition, and thermal has been a really popular material the last few years. You see it everywhere, so be looking out for thermal type tops, especially if they're like camo or floral. Those seem to do they seem to be very on trend, I should say. Next is probably one of my favorite pieces that I picked up the entire day, and it is this floral, well, it's kind of like a floral pattern, I guess, but it's like very much like a wallpaper print with birds all over it. I'll show you up close. And it's like teals and oranges and greens and white and black. And one of my favorite designers, Marc Jacobs. It's actually the Marc by Marc Jacobs line, which is no longer around. Now they just have Marc Jacobs, and then I think one called the Marc Jacobs, which I think they're pretty much the same. I think the Marc Jacobs is a little higher. But Marc Jacobs is a designer who retails for quite a bit, but has never really had a strong resale value, and even their retail, like their purses, they retail probably between $200 and $600, but they're one of those brands, kind of like Kate Spade, that's sort of always running a sale, kind of like Coach, or very often running a sale. And it's high end and it's designer, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's necessary, I don't know if I would say it's luxury. Not like Chanel or Dior. At least it doesn't have the brand value. So again, Marc by Marc Jacobs was like a lower end, what do you call that? Spin-off brand? Diffusion line. That's the word I'm looking for. It was a diffusion line from the mid to late 2000s that, you know, they had those purses with the little metal piece on the front that had the engraving. Every basic high school had one. With her Starbucks and her Ugg boots and her parents' credit card at Nordstrom after school. So anyway, I love Marc Jacobs. I personally love all his designs. I love his handbags. I've had his duffel bag. I've had phone cases. And I'm on the hunt for a Marc Jacobs card holder. Like one of the little card holders. And he has these new ones with his logos that are like a J and then an upside down J. I think they're super cute. So I've been on the look on Poshmark for one of those. If you have one or come across one, let me know because I'm looking for one. So this dress was a size small. And like I said, this dress was probably maybe 200 or 300 new, but unfortunately, it's like I said, it's not a brand that like resells for a lot. So I'm gonna have to mark it for like $50, and I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't sell for that much, maybe $25. But I don't know. Maybe I'll even send it into the Real. I don't know if they're accepting Marc by Marc Jacobs, but I have a couple other things I'm gonna send to the Real soon. So maybe I'll throw that in there, see if it's on their brand list. And then next is this like scarf print top, and it's by the brand Alia, which is one of the house brands for Francesca's, the boutique chain Francesca's. This is one of their in-house brands. So basically what they do is they pay other companies for their designs to sew their label in. So I used to work for a wholesale clothing company that was sold at places like Nordstrom Rack, TJ Maxx, and this is one of the labels that we private labeled for. So Alia would contact us and say, or Francesca's corporate would contact us and say, what styles do you have? We would send them a line sheet or even go show them samples of everything we had. And then they would pick the ones that they would like. And then our factories would make them and they would provide the tags for us to sew into their garments. So even though it's their house brand, they're not necessarily designing it or manufacturing it. They're just putting their label on it and picking out the styles. So something about like blue and white is just so classy to me. Like it doesn't get much more classy. You know, you just think of like kind of like a Mediterranean sort of vibe, like vacation. You're in like Greece or something, and you're wearing this with some white capris and some little brown sandals, and you have like your classy like beige sun hat on. And anyway, that's just the kind of vibe I get from this blue and white print. So I personally love it. It's not exactly like a youthful print, but you kind of have to be careful with Francesca's brands, because even new with tags, the stuff doesn't fly off the shelves. The Poshmark shelves, I should say. That's the stuff that I would list more on Poshmark and Mercari. But don't expect high return, even if it had a good retail, like $70 or whatever. Don't expect a lot for it. Don't expect for it to fly off the shelves. But people do like to bundle it if it's all one size. I've sold some Francesca's bundles, and I sell it for around $10 to $20 each. So yeah, like I said, don't expect a lot, but they do have cute styles. So if you can get it for cheap, pick it up. And it definitely usually fits the theme of my Poshmark closet, which is more boho. I do have kind of a wide range on there. All right, next is this super duper cute printed floral dress, and it's by Lucky Brand, which is one of my personal favorite brands. It's not a brand that like I wear a ton, but I just really like their quality. I really respect their quality, I guess. They're very consistent. They've been around for a long time, and I really like their styles. It's very bohemian, but a lot of their stuff kind of has like a little bit of a rock and roll sort of festival vibe. So this is one of their more like feminine sort of pieces, which I thought is super cute. And Lucky's carried at a really wide range of places. So you can find Lucky in the women's department at Nordstrom for like $70 for a top, but you can also find Lucky Brand at TJ Maxx for like $15.99 or $22.99 for a top. So they just somehow they get away with that, like selling it both high end. I think when brands get so big, like Calvin Klein, they can sell at department stores and discounters and kind of just get away with it, and no one really says anything. But just keep that in mind when you're sourcing, that, you know, some of their stuff retails really high, some of it doesn't. The buyer doesn't, on Poshmark, doesn't really necessarily know what's what. So to me, it's all good if it's a good style and good condition. And wish this was a little bit bigger of a size, because bigger sizes sell faster for me, but smaller sizes still sell. So if something's a good brand and a good style, good condition, I'm not going to turn my back on it just because it is in a smaller size or a petite size or something like that. Next, really quick honorable mention, another thing that's just for me, it is this English Laundry New With Tags Polo. It has like some deodorant marks on it, but it's an XXL, which is one of the sizes that I've been wearing right now. I've been putting on that quarantine 15. I used to be more of a large or extra large, but right now I'm more of extra large or XXL. So this will fit me right now. And English Laundry, I believe, is carried at like Nordstrom Rack. I know they're at Ross and TJ Maxx. I saw a billboard for them one time in downtown Seattle, so I don't know if they're local here to Seattle, but I don't know. For some reason, this brand just doesn't scream anything like desirable to me. It's never something I would seek out or buy for full retail at a store. And I know they actually often have pieces at Costco, which I think is where this might have been from. So, oh yeah, because it has the sticker on there. Usually, so brands that manufacture for Costco, a lot of times they'll have a sticker on the front. Like, I'm trying to think of some of them, like, you know, Calvin Klein, Nautica, Tommy Hilfiger. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. Oh, Kenzie is one of the brands that's like a woman's brand. Puma. So a lot of those brands will manufacture for Costco, and be aware of that. When I found quite a few of those items like new at tags, and you get excited because it's new at tags. Like, I found a really cute Kenzie cardigan at a thrift, but then once I got it home, I realized it was one of those Costco items, and there was a ton of them on Poshmark because a lot of people probably got them as gifts, or they just bought them for themselves at Costco, and so they didn't end up liking it, or they just donated it for whatever reason. So the style was super oversaturated, and I didn't sell it for much. So definitely keep in mind, if something was sold at Costco, even if it's a pretty okay brand that you might pick up, it might not be the best decision. So next is this Michael Kors. It's Michael Kors. I don't know why it's having a hard time picking that up. Okay. But then on the back, it's got the little metal charm, which is in super clean condition. The whole garment is in amazing condition. It is this like ribbed tank, and it's really thick. But it's a really nice, thick, stretchy Michael Kors top. Michael Kors isn't a brand that I love or like admire or consider to be luxury. Consider it pretty much to be on like the same level as Coach, and that's okay. It's pretty much more of a discounter designer brand, I would say now. But I will pick it up from places like the bins, or if it's on sale for clearance for $1 or $2. Like earlier this year, I think it was actually the end of last year, I picked up a Michael Kors leather jacket from the bins, and I ended up selling it for over $100. So even though I don't perceive it as a luxury brand or a designer brand that I want to wear or, you know, flaunt, I think that there are still people who do, and maybe a lot of them are not from the USA, so they're not as in touch with what's cool in the US, but they're, you know, maybe they are visiting the US, or they just moved to the US, or they're outside the country, and so they like brands that we don't necessarily here in the US. So keep that in mind. Just because something's not cool in the US doesn't necessarily mean that there isn't a market for it. Okay, next is this lightweight knit hoodie by the brand Project Social Tee. This is a brand that is carried, I believe, at TJ Maxx. I know they're often at Urban Outfitters, and I'm guessing that they're probably at Nordstrom Rack too, but I'm not 100% sure. But they make a lot of cute graphic tees, and this one just says, I am our fire, water, I am our fire, water, air, and earth, but we are nothing without each other. So it's just kind of like a little boho, hippie, dippy type graphic that I think someone on Posh, oh my gosh, I didn't think it was up here, but this is the phone case that I was talking about. I do not give a pug. And then look at little pug. So I might use this for fun sometimes, but my boyfriend thought it was a little silly. He likes me to be a little more polished, so I don't think he'll be wanting me to use that too much, but had to show it to you. Okay, next is a shirt that is by the brand Neff, which is a brand that's carried at like Zoomies, but it's their collaboration with Star Wars. And right there on the sleeve it says Neff, and then the front is just like, I think is that the Stormtrooper, or I don't know, the Bounty Hunter. I actually love Star Wars, but I can't remember what this dude, who he is. I can't remember his name. If you remember, let me know down below. Star Wars isn't something that I pick up a lot, but since it was an actual, like, pretty okay brand, like Neff is a brand I used to wear in high school. But, you know, there's those skater boy scrubs out there who probably still wear it, and they're Star Wars fans. So I thought from the bins it was worth it. It probably cost me like 75 cents. So even if I sell it for just a little bit, I will be happy with that. Okay, next is a brand that is called Angie, and it is a brand that is carried at boutiques, but it's also carried at places like TJ Maxx and Nordstrom Rack. I have a lot of TJ Maxx and Nordstrom Rack brands today, but I tend to find those a lot at places like the Goodwill bins because people don't necessarily know what they are, but I do. So I can immediately see a terrible flaw in this one, which if I would have had that time to go through my cart at the end, I would have caught this. But it's a super cute little like paisley, lightweight, almost sheer, lace trimmed, like a crochet lace trimmed top, and super cute because it's kind of boho style and it's kind of 90s style, which are both my styles. But unfortunately, it's all pitted out. It's flipping yellow. So that's pretty gross. So my boyfriend is like the OxyClean master. He can get most stains out of anything, but those look pretty yellow and pretty deep. So I'll have him give them a shot, but if not, that'll just be redonated. Since it was so light, it probably cost me less than 50 cents. And yeah, wish I would have had a little bit more time to go through the cart, but that's just the name of the game. And Angie, yeah, they make very boho style. So they look very similar to like Free People or Johnny Was or Arada, things like that. But it's definitely lower end, and don't pay up for it because it's at Ross. It's at TJ Maxx for cheap. So pick it up if it's a cute style that is in good condition and matches your closet, but don't pay up for it. Next is this little skirt, and I believe it's vintage. It looks 90s to me, and that's what I liked about it is the style. I love little circle skater skirts like this, and it's kind of like almost like a satiny crepe material, and there's no brand tag in here at all. There's no tags at all. It's all cut out. So I probably would have put it back if I had more time to think about it, but yeah, there doesn't appear to even be a care tag or anything. It's cut out. The only thing that is any kind of marking on here is on the zipper. It says YKK USA. So if anyone recognizes this skirt or this print, please feel free to reach out to me and let me know, because I would love to know. This might, oh no, it had a tag in there at one time, but it looks to be some sort of vintage tag, but it was cut out so I can't tell. But regardless, I thought it would be cute to pair with some of the t-shirts and tops and sweaters I sell. So that's one I'll probably use for a photo shoot, and then either redonate, let the model have it, or sell for super cheap. If I can find out what brand it is, that'd be amazing, but I'm not gonna invest too much time into that. Sometimes you just gotta let it go. Alrighty, this is a not mesh, but, well, I guess it is mesh. I wanna call it lace, but it's like an embroidered floral mesh dress from Zara. It's got these side vents on it, and it's embroidered with like graphic all over it. So it's got like colorful embroidery. So it's obviously a super unique piece. You would either need a slip or some sort of shorts and bra under this, but it's got the little like hang taggy thing still on there. So that it's basically leads me to believe anytime you find something with that, maybe someone wore it with that, but likely not. So that's basically new without tags. And then Zara is a mall fast fashion brand that I don't really pick up too much. Sometimes I wear it myself, but I'm trying to steer away from more fast fashion stuff and go more towards sustainable quality or secondhand pieces. So this isn't a piece I would have paid up for. Some of their stuff actually retails for a lot of money, like $50, $100 or more dollars. But then their sale is extremely cheap. Like their sale gets marked down, and they put their whole store on sale at one time, and they just keep marking it down till it sells. And then they can mark stuff down to like $5. So keep that in mind. But it says like love kills, wants, I can't tell what it says, normal people. I don't know, it's just like an abstract writing sort of thing. So it's kind of a niche item. I don't expect it to sell super fast, but I'm gonna list it and try to find that right buyer, and then we'll see what happens. I will probably list for around $25 to $35. Yeah, not a super great brand that I would pick up for a lot of money, but does seem to sell. Like any Zara I've had, it sells. It doesn't sell faster for a lot, but it does sell. So I think they have a pretty good reputation compared to places like H&M or Forever 21. All right, the next item is from a brand that has been at the top of my BOLO list for a long time. BOLO stands for Be on the Lookout, and I always see this brand, other people finding it, and I've really wanted to find it because it really matches my style, which is very bohemian. And yeah, I'm assuming you've heard of this, and let me show you the tag, see if you know what it is. So it says JWLA, which is one of the lines from Johnny Was. So it's Johnny Was Los Angeles. And so I picked this one up, and I got so excited, and I saw Vandy was standing there a little bit close to me, so I went and showed her. It's like, I found a brand I've always wanted to find, Johnny Was. She was like, oh yeah, I've never found that one either, but she'd love to. And it's this super pretty embroidered floral t-shirt that's v-neck, and I was so excited, but I'm sad, you guys. I noticed something. They tagged right next to the seam, not through the seam. They somehow tagged right next to it and made a huge hole. So I don't know if that's something that I'm gonna be able to like fix, but I don't know. Actually, it's so close to the seam that I might be able to just like have someone pull that a little bit closer, and I don't know if I can fix this, but I'm really hoping I can. I don't think this is an item that resells for a lot, but I just really want this brand in my closet, so I'm hoping that there's something I can do with this. Maybe I can distress it more. It doesn't really seem like a style that would be distressed. A lot of times I'll, distress band tees if I find a hole, but kind of seems like a lost cause. But I'll keep you guys updated, I guess, and hopefully I can fix that. Next item is one that I would not pick up from a normal thrift store or pay much for, but it is by the brand Torrid, and I'm trying to find the top. So it's a size 3 or 4, which I believe is like 3 or 4X. And then it's just like an open kimono, short sleeve. It's got like the, what do you call these kind of sleeves again? Kimono sleeve, I guess. But yeah, it's got like this embroidered sequin detail at the bottom, which is super pretty. It's upside down right now, but it's kind of pretty. Not really my style, but it kind of has like a little bit of a boho vibe. But anyway, Torrid is a brand that is exclusively plus size, and I would call them pretty much a fast fashion brand, but their stuff retails actually for a good amount, and I'm thinking that's because plus size, there's just not a lot of options, so they can afford to do that because the demand is higher. And I think they have a pretty good reputation in the plus size clothing community. Some people would prefer to say full figure, so sorry if I offend anyone with that, but I'm all about body inclusivity and positivity, and I definitely have been trying to get more I'm always trying to get more plus size items in my closet because, you know, you want to serve that market, and it's a good opportunity, and I think it's important for all stores and brands to consider being more inclusive towards bigger sizes. Next is a really cool item that I would never in a million years pick up, but it is this NFL Seahawks, where is the front? Windbreaker. And it doesn't have a hood or anything, it's just like a collar, but it's in pretty good condition. It's XL. This might even be vintage. But obviously, I'm guessing that you can tell I'm not much of a sports person. It says SI. I don't know what that is. But yeah, I could give a rat's a less about sports and football. I will go to a football party for the food and drinks and good talk, but I'm not really into the sports. Sports games are fun to go to. I like going to baseball games, but this is for my dad, or for most likely my dad. He more wears a large, so we'll see if it fits him. But yeah. Next item, pair of rainbow suspenders. These aren't to sell. I just thought they'd be fun to have for like Pride next year. Next item is it is this really cute romper that's got like a tie chest thing going on, but I can see immediately looking at it that the zipper is broken, so unless I can get that back on track, it is going to be donated. And then the brand is one I've never heard of. I'm guessing it's like one of those Nordstrom or TJ Maxx brands, or maybe like a boutique brand, but it's called 1060 Sherman. It was a size large. It's too bad this is not in usable condition with the zipper, because super cute style. And I will do some more research on that brand later, because I want to know what it is. It's good to know. Knowledge is power. That's what my teacher in home ec used to say, and I think that has a lot of truth to it. Next is a pair of Citizens of Humanity, like Bermuda shorts. These are women's, and they are just super plain. They've got like some fading wash to them, but Citizens of Humanity is one of those denim brands that was super popular in the like mid to early 2000s, and they are still available, I believe, at like Nordstrom and Nordstrom Rack, and sometimes like Anthropologie and stuff, but they're not as big anymore, but they do have a following. So let's say someone's been wearing Citizens since the early to mid 2000s, and they had a pair of these shorts, you know, they might just come to Poshmark or Mercari looking for these same shorts. So even though a lot of people say not to pick up like Hudson or those type of denim brands like this, I still do, because I find they sell pretty okay. Like Seven Jeans is another one, but yeah, people come looking for their favorite styles that have fit them well with denim that they've been loyal to. So when I find those type of brands for cheap or at the Goodwill outlet, I definitely always pick them up if the condition is good. Next is a pair of Levi's denim. Levi's is probably the most reputable denim brand out there in America, at least. So I always pick them up. Doesn't necessarily resell for a lot, but it's an easy like $15 to $30. And the super high rise ones are the ones that you want because that's what's on trend right now. Like skinny or boyfriend are the two most probably popular styles. And then straight leg is good too, but I would try to stay away from bootcut or flare. Those are a harder sell. And these are the type that have like polyester in them, so they're super stretchy. I personally prefer like the Levi's denim. They're like 100% cotton, like the vintage or like just more thick cotton type denim. But you know, the ones with spandex are okay too. I think a lot of people are starting to wear more of that thick denim, so you know, people just aren't wearing their jeans as stretchy. And I think that the ones that have spandex in them to make them stretchy, they don't last as long. They tend to wear out. So I'm team thick Levi's all the way. So speaking of thick Levi's, here is a pair of men's 32 denim jeans from Levi's, and these are the 100% cotton ones that are super thick. And what I do with these is I turn them into women's shorts and distress them. So yeah, that's what that pair are for. And then another pair that are 32. These ones are already made into shorts for men, but I'm gonna cut them way higher and then add the distressing. And yeah, there's a lot of those shorts are super on trend, and they have been for a long time. I don't think Levi's denim cutoffs are going anywhere. So when you find the men's Levi's for cheap or at the bins, definitely turning them into women's shorts is something that you can consider. Next item is this wallet, and it's like an embroidered floral, and then on this side it's got embroidery with hummingbird, and I don't know, it's not something I would pay a lot for, but since it was at the bins, I just saw it and I like the bohemian sort of vibe of it. And the brand is, let's see if it has a brand. I know I saw a brand on here somewhere. Anyway, I guess I can't find the brand, but I know that I think it's just some random like made in China boutique-y brand. But anyway, I just like the style. I think these retail for about $25 to $45, so I'll probably mark it at 15. And just a quick little easy closet filler, you know? So next is the brand Lush, and it is size medium, and it's just this like lace detail blouse. And Lush is a brand that's carried at Nordstrom, and it's carried at Nordstrom Rack, and it's also carried in boutiques. So I'm sure it's carried other places too, but it's a pretty good, like, I think they have a small following and a good reputation for being good quality. They're basically fast fashion boutique brand, more like, but the quality is good. So yeah, not something I would pay up for, but I think that's a good $20 item. And then next is a style that I really like the style, and I wasn't familiar with the brand. It's called Lavender Field. I'm guessing it's just like a boutique or TJ Maxx brand, but it's got this kind of like bell sleeve exposed seam situation going on, and it's got like a little tie front, which is super on trend and cute, and I don't think is going out of style anytime soon. So that's like a good just like top that you could pair with like high waist flare jeans or something like that. It's kind of a boho vibe. So even though I didn't know the brand, the condition is pretty okay and the style is good. So I was willing to take a chance on that one. This next item is just like a plain, what do they call this? Like check shirt. Oh, it's like gingham. I think that's the word I'm thinking of. But the tag, I cannot for the life of me figure out what this brand is. It's velvet on the tag, and it has a little metal star attached. So I posted in like 4 different Facebook groups for resellers, trying to ask for people what this brand is, and I couldn't find a clear answer. Someone said John Barbados, which popped into my head because I know they have like stars sometimes. And then some people said, a lot of people were saying a brand called Velvet, which is carried at Anthropologie. But whenever any of the other tags I looked up for Velvet, the tags actually said Velvet. So for some reason, this was giving me like a J. Crew vibe. I thought it was maybe one of their higher end lines. But I can't find anything about it. So probably going to redonate that one or give it away if I can't figure out the brand, because I don't really sell unbranded stuff unless it's a cool vintage piece or something. But guess you just have to call that one a loss. Next is this Vans crop top. It's like a super boxy fit. On the back, it just says off the wall. And then it has on the pocket on the front, it says Vans. It's a size large, which is a good size. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie-dye it. So it's just a white shirt, will look super cute. Tie-dyed, probably red, I'm thinking. I've been doing like more like the single or 2-color tie-dyes. My boyfriend says he thinks this one would be cute with like a bunch of different colors. So we'll see what I do with that. Next is another brand that I do not recognize. It says Do Everything in Love, and the tag is written in like cursive. Never heard of it. It's like this crochet lace sleeveless vest long thing, and it just fits that bohemian style that I go for. I love white lace things, white crochet things, white knit things. So white color clothes, if they're like a bohemian style, I just love them. Not like preppy white clothes, but like bohemian white clothes is what I like. Okay. Next is this The Mountain t-shirt. I've talked to you guys a lot about them. It's just got a wolf on it. This one is a size small, and it's kind of like a bleach dye. I don't know if those are flame. Yeah. It's got flames on there too. But I've never seen this Mountain t-shirt, and the Mountain is a brand that doesn't retail for a lot. Their t-shirts retail probably brand new for $15 to $25, but they've been around since I believe the 90s. So if you find their pieces that are vintage or less common, you can mark them up and make some good money on them. I think I've sold quite a few. I've sold like one with a buffalo and a dream catcher. I've sold, a lot of them have animals on them, so keep an eye out for them. It's a brand that I like, and especially if you can get it super cheap. They're kind of like novelty. So alrighty, this final piece is another one that I probably would not normally pick up. It's not a brand that I wear or really like to sell. Doesn't really fit my closet style, but it is good quality brand with a good reputation. This is Kenneth Cole, and it's like I think it's faux wool. It kind of like feels like felt, but it's just a jacket, and the sleeve is like a knit ribbed material, so that seems like it could get pilled or sagged, but it's in really clean condition, and fall's coming up. Again, can't go wrong with like this burnt orange color for fall. So I might even try this one with thread up. For some reason, I have a feeling this brand would do well on there. So yeah, I'll probably mark that one around $50. And to start, I don't really know. I'll look up comps first. But yeah, Kenneth Cole, that's what it is. So it's like a Macy's brand. They probably carry some of them at like Nordstrom Rack, or even, I don't know, you can probably find some Kenneth Cole things at TJ Maxx. I don't know. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is my biggest one store haul that I've ever done, so that was pretty exciting. I was kind of surprised that I didn't find more flaws. I just looked through them and showed you guys, but I'm gonna look through them later, and I'm sure some will come up. But for $42, 75 pounds, not too mad about it. I think I'll be able to make my money back pretty easily. And if you guys enjoyed this video, I hope you did. I hope it was helpful. Please give me big thumbs up and subscribe, because it helps me out a lot, and you'll keep getting more videos like this. And I'm going to do a what sold video next, so stay tuned, and bye. Okay, that was a weird wave. Bye.